Alright, today we're going to talk a little bit about Java data types. So the Java source files can have three types of statements in this order. You can have package statements, import statements, and then the vast majority of our code is going to be in class definitions. So what is a package declaration? Well, this is similar to a namespace in C++, and C++ namespaces are used to avoid clashes between the names of things. So for example, we might have a section class, might represent a section of a building, let's say. But some other developer might have a section class that represents the section of a college course. We could put each section class inside a package to avoid any ambiguity about which section class we're actually referring to. An import statement, this is similar to a pound include in C++. We might import the section class related to courses by using the name of the package, a dot, and then the name of the class we'd like to use. So we might we might have created a package called courses and put the section class within that package. So we would import courses.section. And then lastly, we have class definitions. And again, the vast majority of your code will be in the class definitions. In Java, there's no separate .h and .cpp file. We just write everything in one file. That's very convenient. And of course, Java is all about creating classes. Every source file contains at least one class definition. And for now, all of our classes are going to be marked as public. There must be at least one class with a main function. So the JVM will start executing statements inside a single class's main function. And when we start a Java program from the command line, we have to tell the JVM what that class with the main function is. The rules for naming things in Java, so variables, methods, classes, they're the same rules as in C++. So you can't start with a number, you can't have spaces in the names of your things. But everything else is the same. Generally, we'll have class names that start with a capital letter, and method names and data member names will start with a lowercase letter, and they'll be camel case from that point on. So the beginning of each new word will have a capital letter. So you can look at any Java doc and see kind of the style of naming for classes and methods and data members. So Java's built-in types, there are only a few. Starting with the byte. A byte is an 8-bit integer. These are usually used for binary data. For example, if we have a program that's storing the bytes of an MP3 file or a GIF file in memory, we might create an array of bytes. Then we have characters. Characters are 16-bit Unicode characters. So not the 8-bit ASCII characters that we use in C++, but they are 16-bit characters. And these, again, are used for the printable characters. There's a class called string that is a collection of these 16-bit characters that we'll use quite a bit. Then we have three different integer types. We have a short, an int, and a long. A short is a 16-bit integer, an int is a 32-bit integer, and a long is a 64-bit integer. And of course, the difference between all of these is with more bits you can store more values. So they each have a different range of values. The short has a range from somewhere around 32,000, minus 32,000 to positive 32,000. An int has a range from about minus 2 billion to positive 2 billion, and a long has just a ridiculously large range of values. Okay, then we have our floating point types. So we have float and double. So float is a 32-bit floating point number. A double is a 64-bit floating point number. Again, the difference is they have different ranges of values. With more bits, you can store more data. Then we have a Boolean type. So not a bool. In C++, the keyword is bool. In Java, it's Boolean. and we can, of course, only store one of two values inside a Boolean, true or false. And both true and false are keywords. And then everything else in Java is an object reference. Okay, so an object reference is a pointer to a more complex object on the heap. And we'll be using object references for a lot of things, and occasionally we'll be using the built-in simple types. We certainly will be composing the simple types to build more complex classes as well.